What's going on? It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Good morning to everybody. It is Wednesday. It is January 21st. Could I get a roll tide up inside the comment box? Thank you so much for joining me on today's program. We kind of headline with some basketball. My goodness, this is national news, 100%. If you've been following this, this just kind of popped up on the radar probably yesterday at some point, and it was regarding Charles Bediako. And the name probably sounds familiar to you as you're kind of, getting to the show, or maybe you caught it on Wake Up Bama this morning as I spoke a little bit about it. But kind of the long story is that he played for Alabama back in 2021. You remember the name, right? 2021, 2023. He left Alabama early. And I always thought, I was like, you know what? Out of all guys that shouldn't have left, he's one of them. Like, I was like, he shouldn't have left early. So he goes into the G League, right? He never plays for an NBA team. And fast forward, right? 2023 is a long time ago, right? This is 2026. And while he's played for, I guess, the Austin Spurs, Grand Rapids Gold, Motor City Cruise, those are all kind of cool names. He's now trying to come back to Bama basketball. And there's been a couple different cases where players have kind of done the same thing. So the NCAA said no. All right. So what he did was he went to a judge, and the judge just this morning filed a restraining order, right? Temporary restraining order up until the 27th. Well, there'll be a hearing, okay? And he's going to be eligible to play. So, I mean, this is crazy. Like, on a national scale, this is, like, absolutely crazy for him being able to play. And if you follow, like, any, like, basketball, and you definitely should, and we'll add more basketball into the mix as we kind of go into this, next phase of the college window or whatever. Well, I don't know is this like college pro sports? I don't know what this is. But whatever it is, this is crazy that Bediako is back and eligible to play immediately. So, like, Alabama has a gigantic game coming up Saturday against Tennessee, and Bediako is going to play in that game, which is wild. And then the 27th, when there's the hearing, they'll go over it. But, yeah, that's kind of out there. That's in the news. And it is just unbelievable to see kind of where things are at from a college athletic standpoint, right? So good morning to everybody. Thank you so much. Let's do some AM shout-outs. I appreciate you guys kicking it with us every single day on Bama Football on YouTube. Thank you so much. And let's see who's up inside the comment box. Let's make sure that we have the comments on the screen. Add those in 2 seconds. How's everybody doing today? Is anybody getting snow this weekend? Is anybody getting ice? Is anybody getting a combination of both? I guess I kind of looked at like Tuscaloosa, and I saw that for us, it seems like we're getting a like hellacious ice storm. Landon, what's up, man? I appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much for being here. Cody, what's up, bro? Good to see you. We got Max Tooney up in the house. Good morning, Max. I hope that you slept well, that you're feeling strong this morning. We also have, let's see, there's some good conversation this morning before the show. Army, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Army 3275, good morning. Lad Gaming, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thank you so much for kicking with us every single day right here on Bama Football on YouTube. We have Bruce Williams coming into us from the comment box. We have Miss Debbie Hansen. What's up, Miss Debbie? Good to see you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us right here on Bama Football on YouTube. We have Miss Amanda Jane. Good morning, Amanda. Thank you so much for hanging out. Robert Bradley Jr., what's going on, man? Good to see you. Haunted Syndicate, good morning. We have Nicole Covington saying, roll tide. We have Miss Crystal Jones, what's up? We have William Highnote, good to see you, man. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this morning. We have Chris as well. And, we got a lot of people checked in today for the morning show, which I really, really appreciate. Today is January 21st. If we kind of look back, right, and you kind of look back at January, right? And thank you to our live show sponsors, by the way. Really appreciate all of y'all. I update this every once in a while. If you want to be a supporter of the show, hit the join button, and I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. But I think as you look back on January, wasn't January crazy, right? This has probably been I think this is the second wildest January we've had. I guess clearly the wildest January we've ever had was when Saban left, right? But this is a completely different crazy. And what I mean by that is like you look at all these elements that are happening and how college athletics is changing. And I don't even know what it's becoming. And I'm not saying that I'm not going to stop being like a fan of it. It's just, how would you agree, yes or no, that the way that college athletics has changed, even from last year, has been significant? Think about, and if I was to think about this, how much has college athletic changed in like 5 years? How much has it changed in 10 years? Right? Man, it's unbelievable. Like, look at this story. This is another story. So we lead off with, the Bediako thing coming back to, which is, you're like, what? That's never going to happen. That was like a pipe dream. Matt, what's up, man? Thanks for checking in from Oregon, right? And then you have this situation in Duke. Have you seen this? So Duke is suing its own quarterback. Like, what is this? Where are we? What this is? You know what this is? Do we have any Black Mirror fans? Right? Does anybody watch Black Mirror? Yes or no? So Black Mirror is basically like a science fiction, like kind of dystopia show on Netflix. And it has all these weird situations, but all of them, theoretically, you could see it happening, right? You're like, I get where you're going with these shows. And right now, we would be living in one of these shows, watching all of this college football madhouse might be a perfect word for it, Bruce. So Mensa, check this out. He entered the NCAA transfer portal, but he was going to go to Miami. Miami was going to give him like $10 million reportedly, okay? Well, then Duke was like, you know what? You signed paperwork that you're going to be here on a multi-year contract, okay? Which prohibits you from transferring. And so I don't know what's going to happen right now. They're like going back and forth. But I guess I say all that to say this is like, where are we? What's happening? Imagine that first day of practice when he goes back to practice, and they're like, "Yo, do you want to be here?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want to go where the money is. That's where my allegiance is. My allegiance is with getting paid the most amount of money. And now that I'm back at Duke, I don't want to be here." So, I don't know. I mean, this situation is absolutely worth following. All of college athletics right now is just absolutely on its head. So, we stayed away the last couple of days. We kind of stayed away from the roster. And I thought we needed a little bit of break from it. It was like, it was a lot, right? It was just like one thing after another. So then we kind of moved to the coaches, and now we kind of circle back and start to look at the roster as some of that dust has settled. I would say, though, keep your head on a swivel in terms of names being added to the program. I feel that there's going to be more transfer portal additions. I don't think it'll come in waves, but I think you're going to get additions, maybe through, I would say, like next 2 weeks, there's going to be guys that I would imagine are added to the team. Okay. So now, as we can kind of look at the roster being dealt with and kind of seeing it for what it is, and I do feel much better about the roster now that I've had like some time to think about it, some time to sleep on it. We kind of come to like some early position battles. Okay. And so for right now, on this day, January 21st, and we're probably like 2 weeks away from like the fourth quarter program when they go with David Ballou and start kind of working out. It kind of starts like the upperclassmen start working out, and then they all start working out together, and then the young guys start getting together. That's kind of how it operates. But as we start to kind of look at early position battles, it all starts with the quarterback, okay? And I've asked you a bunch of different times, which quarterback do you feel it's going to be like the starter? So the way that let's frame it like this. What will really decide, and we're going to do this for a bunch of slides coming up, okay? Mostly offense and then tomorrow defense. But what will really decide this competition between these two individuals, what do you think it'll be? Post inside the comment box what you think it'll be. Because for me, when I'm looking at the Alabama quarterback of the future, I see two individuals that I feel are capable. I haven't seen a lot from them. I'm hopeful, but like, I get it. But I want you to tell me, like, what will really decide this competition? Will it be experience? Because if it's experience, then it goes to Austin Mack. Will it be playmaking ability? Who has more playmaking ability? We think in our mind that it's Keelan, but is it Austin? Who has better command of the offense? I think usually a quarterback competition comes down to the quarterback that makes the least amount of mistakes, right? And who has kind of like, who does the team want to follow? And this will probably be one of the best quarterback battles that we've had in some time. And we've had some quarterback battles over the last couple of years. I think kind of in our mind, we've all known who the quarterback was going to be in a lot of these competitions, right? What were some other quarterback competitions here? I mean, clearly you had Jalen and Tua, right? You had, I guess, Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson. And I guess Tyler Buckner, if you want to throw him in. Most recently, you had Ty versus Austin and Keelan, right? What are some other quarterback competitions that there's been? I think in those competitions, we've all kind of known who the quarterback was going to be, right? It wasn't like a shocker whenever like the starter went out there. This one, I think, this one's going to be good. This will be the best quarterback competition that we've had between these two young men. And I think when you're looking at it for what it is, you have two quarterbacks that are different. Austin Mack, big arm, prototypical pocket passer that can move a little bit. I think he fits what Ryan Grubb wants as a quarterback. I mean, obviously they both do. And then with Keelan Russell, I mean, this guy, what he did at the high school level against elite competition was magnificent. A lot of tools that he has. Some people just have it in life. He has it. And I guarantee you, if I was to poll y'all right now inside the comment box, what's up, Ryan? Thanks for joining us, that you guys would vote Keelan as a starter. But based off what? That's what I'm asking. And I'm not for or against any quarterback. I'm for the best quarterback for the job. But I want you to tell me, why do you think that Keelan Russell wins the job? And I don't think there's been a lot of people that have said why. I think you're just like, because he's a 5-star, because he's better. No, tell me why he's better. What does he do that's better than Austin Mack? What does Austin Mack do that's better than Keelan? That's what I want to know. And right now, that might be hard for everybody, including the coaches, because we just don't have a lot of data points. Plus, like, how are these guys going to operate with a new offense, a new offensive line, right? Interesting to think about for sure. This is the hardest. This will be the best battle of the entire spring, even going into summer. I'm going to say it won't be determined until like 2 weeks out. Period. I don't think either one of these guys goes to SEC Media Day. They won't do any, they'll do interviews and stuff like that, but they'll keep them battling, period. Okay, how about this one? I came up with this one. I was looking at the running backs, and this is aside from Daniel Hill, because Daniel Hill is the oldest running back in the room. And if you're just joining us today, we're just talking some competition battles now that the kind of roster has settled a little bit going into the back end of January, okay? So I think a lot of people – so in this particular situation, we have Kevin Riley versus A.K. Deere, okay? I think they're very similar running backs. And I do feel that a lot of people – have kind of gone away from talking about Kevin Riley. I don't think that's fair. I feel that Kevin Riley, it was a really good running back when his name was called early in the season. We saw some good things from him, right? I wouldn't mind seeing these guys as a 1-2 punch. Think about that. If these guys are developed enough to kind of be a 1-2 punch, that would be nice. Now, I think a lot of people, once again, the younger guy, you're going to start to see a theme here. The younger guy is always better. Why? Why will A.K. Deer surpass Kevin Riley this year? And kind of the same thing with this last slide. The guy who played more every single time and the guy that went in right after was Austin Mack. The guy that went in right after was Kevin Riley. So how does A.K. Deer jump Kevin Riley this year? And why didn't he play more last year? That's probably one of my biggest questions, fam. Like going back to isn't it for you too? Like I get it. I get why the quarterbacks didn't play a lot. Whatever. I mean, it does make me wonder if Ty was really hurt. You know, like how much he was hurt and why he didn't play. I'm like, dang, if he had, back issues and all this other stuff, why didn't you play? Whatever. But for like the running backs, I'm like, one of my biggest questions is why didn't A.K. Deer play more? Like he had barely played at all. Why? What was it? Was it pass protection? That's kind of what I'm thinking, Ryan, right? So can he improve on that year over year? Obviously. And will that alone allow him to jump Kevin Riley? I don't know. I haven't heard anybody inside the comment box, nothing. Nobody has mentioned Kevin Riley. Why? Who do you think's the better back? Like straight up right now. Like today, January 21st, who's the better running back? Because they're kind of similar. It would be nice. What's up, Patriot Live? Good to see you, brother. It would be nice to have both these guys be like the 1-2 combo punch. Because they're both fast, right? I think they need to get just a little bit bigger. And I didn't even put on like Xavier Crowell on here. And that's kind of one of my biggest questions too. I'm like, you have D Hill, you have these two young men who I think are very similar. That's why I kind of put them on the screen. And then you have Xavier Crowell, which I think is completely different than all the other backs. And by the way, you saw Crowell won Mr. Football. Yeah, Max points out Riley kind of faded. I think it was because he broke his jaw, right? But he broke his jaw later in the season. They just kind of completely went away from him, though. You're right. And then you got Crowell, who I think is different. I think that Crowell has something that the other guys don't. I think he's an all-purpose back. D Hill is more short yardage, and maybe he can turn into an every down back. I have my questions about that. These guys are kind of every down backs, and then Xavier Crowell can just do it all. Power, speed, whatever. Patriot Life has given 5 fan funderships. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, make sure you have your settings turned on so you can become a fan funder. I do post kind of some behind-the-scenes video if you're a fan funder. So I'll probably be posting them later today. You get kind of some behind-the-scenes stuff if you're a fan funder. Sometimes I make like fan funder posts as well. So I would appreciate you guys thinking about doing that. And thank you so much. And the reason is like the competition battles are going to make these guys better, clearly, right? So, but I think these two guys will go head to head 100%, which they should. Okay, next up, how about this one? I didn't know which wide receivers to put together. I mean, if you have like a competition battle for Thursday's show, put it inside the comment box. I'm happy to throw it up. I put Rico Scott versus Noah Rogers. I kind of, Patriot Life with 5 more fan funderships. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. So 10 altogether. Tell Patriot Life, thank you. He's our community builder. Patriot Life, you need to switch that out to like a construction hat with the script A. So when I think Alabama's wide receiver room, I'm smart enough to know there's no way in hell they're just going to obviously they're not going to just bench Ryan Williams. Come on. He's a franchise tag player. They're going to give him every single opportunity to get back to be the playmaker we think he can be, okay? They're not going to bench Lazier Brooks. There's no way that people are going to come in and just, not play Rozier Brooks, or someone's going to play over him, okay? I feel that those are two bona fide starters. Now, you're happy to debate me inside the comment box. I'm happy to hear your feedback. I just think we have two guys that are definitely going to be on the field. It comes down to that third wide receiver. And there's going to be more wide receivers play, of course, but usually Alabama likes a 3 wide receiver set, right? They like a tight end, 2 wide and 3 wide receivers. That's the offense that they like to roll with. So I was thinking about it. Rico Scott signed, and he's kind of another guy too. Like him and AK Deer, I was like, damn, why didn't these guys play more? Because we had wide receivers dropping passes. We did. Even when Ryan was on the struggle bus, at the height of his struggle bus, why didn't Rico Scott play more? And getting Rico Scott back and having him re-sign, I was like, okay, I think that is a real sign that they told Rico that they're going to get him the football this year. Guy runs 23 miles an hour. He's built. This dude is probably the most ripped up DB that we have, or the wide receiver that we have, right? And now, but it gets interesting because you bring on Noah Rodgers, right? So I think that could be a great competition. What do you guys think here? Can I get some feedback inside the comment box? Type R. I think this is a very interesting one. Type R for Rico or type N for Noah Rodgers. And if you haven't seen Noah Rodgers play, I think you'll be really happy. I mean, you're going to get multiple wide receivers to play, of course, and we're not, sleeping on any other wide receivers that aren't mentioned on these graphics. I just think from a standpoint of who plays more, who becomes the guy. Because I could also ask you about, it would also be another good position battle, would be Derek Meadows and Sedarian Morgan. Right? Who do you predict plays more there? That's going to be a good, because, a lot of people, which I love, have been talking about Derek Meadows. It's been really good to see. A lot of people feel that he's going to have this breakout season and going to catch for 500-600 passes. Okay. I got the Frenchie over there. Yeah, and Meadows could be another guy, right? I mean, you guys think that Meadows catches for 500-600 yards this season? Is there anyone inside the comment box that thinks that Meadows will be one of the first 3 guys out there? See, a lot of people feel that it's going to be, I guess, some sort of combination, but Derek Meadows will be one of the top wide receivers this year for Bama. Even though he didn't really have that much opportunities last year, I think a lot of people are expecting a lot from him. I think Ryan's probably your number 1 receiver. Lazier is number 2. And then I think 3 is kind of opened up and I'm talking on the field. Now, who catches the most passes? I kind of have a feeling it might be this guy or Lazier Brooks. I think this guy, a lot of these receivers that come over here are coming over here to start. Kind of think of him as he's coming over here to catch 50 passes. There's no way in hell that this guy comes after established as he is and catches 20 balls, right? Interesting to think about. Okay, now we kind of go to the offensive line. I love this. There's a lot of position battles here, okay? Jackson Lloyd, people calling for, okay, you think people calling for Derek Meadows? People calling for Jackson Lloyd. The fans want Jackson Lloyd to start, okay? Jackson Lloyd is a redshirt freshman, 6'7", probably about 315, super athletic. I don't care who it is. It's easy to get excited for Ty Haywood. Finally, we got this guy here. They're the same age, right? They have about the same amount of playing time, too. I don't know what position they're going to be battling for, but at some point, the coach is going to be looking at these 2 guys. If we keep Michael Carroll at right tackle, then I would clearly think that these guys are battling for left tackle, right? I do feel that Haywood could play guard. But let's just say they're playing, they're battling for tackle. right? Yeah, Ryan points out that Lloyd doesn't have any experience. Neither does Haywood. Haywood played 15 snaps last year, right? So, like, physically, from what you know about him, what do you think? Who do you think's more likely to play this year? Like, meaningful snaps. Do you guys expect that Haywood comes in as a bona fide starter right away at the tackle position? Byron points out it doesn't matter what the fans want. Yeah, because I think Coach Kapilovic would already be fired, right? He's recruiting. He's the lead recruiter on this team. People are like, well, just move him to a recruiting role. But yeah, he's like the main recruiter for the squad. And he did a good job in the transfer portal. Which is the irony, right? You're like, oh, we love him recruiting, but like, is he the guy that can develop? All right. How about this one? Lloyd versus Brooks. Okay, fam, who plays? Like, legitimately, who do you think plays? Haywood or Brooks? Or both? Haywood or Brooks? Okay, and let's see. Oh, interesting. We might have another tackle. Check this out. A tweet from Matt Zenitz. You guys hear this? Okay, Matt Zenitz, best in the business. Mississippi State starting left tackle, Javen James, entered the transfer portal and is visiting Bama. Interesting. 6'5", 320 pounds, who is a redshirt sophomore this season. You hear this? Mississippi State. Look, Mississippi State left tackle, Javen James has entered the transfer portal and visiting Bama. All right. 6'5", 320 pounds. Whoa. That's starting left tackle. Dang. Yo, that's. So you guys can look him up. Javen James. Let's actually look at this real quick. All right. So new name to the list. Let's look on him on Pro Football Focus. Javen. Okay. We got a new name to the board. Does anybody know anything about him real quick? I'm going to pull him up on Pro Football Focus and see what we can see from grades. Javen. All right. By player. Javen James. This was perfect timing. Javen. Make sure I got his spelling right. Javen. Okay. James. All right. Yeah, Mississippi State. 6'5", 320. Okay, here he is on Pro Football Focus. He played in a total of 498 snaps last season. In 2024, he played in 498 snaps at right tackle, and then in 2025, he played in 855 snaps. Wow. This is interesting. So this past season, he played in 855 snaps, and I'm talking about Javen James, Mississippi State left tackle. Yeah, he was a starter, and he's visiting, and he has a pretty good pass blocking grade. So we'll see how that turns out. But Javen James, interesting. This is an interesting question too. Byron's been asking about, or I know a lot of you have been asking about Haha's brother. Jacoby, right? Yo, I haven't seen any movement there. Have you all? I haven't. Not at all. And I kind of thought, with the role that Haha plays, being player development, and I watched Jacoby's highlights, and I was like, yo, what's the, like, let's get this guy. He's out of West Florida. I'm sure you guys have dug into it. We've talked about him a couple times, but nah, haven't seen it, right? Okay, you got like Ty Haywood versus Brooks. My point is you're going to have so much competition at the tackle position, which is great. I mean, could you imagine if you get this James kid in here too? That's the thing that we need is I think we need big bodies. And because we have our younger guys, and I think our younger guys could definitely play, but it would be nice to get some more experienced guys. If you get Javen James in from Mississippi State, let's just theoretically say he commits. He would be the most experienced offensive lineman that we have along with Rayson Delgado. So you would have, two players who have a wealth of experience, which we need. And then we can kind of elevate those younger guys. So we'll keep you We'll keep you posted on that. Also at that guard position, we got to have competition there. People aren't talking about Will Sanders enough. Will Sanders, he'd be a redshirt sophomore. Todd, what's up, man? Good morning, bro. Hey, Todd, something to dive into, bro. We were just talking about Javen James, Mississippi State, posted by Matt Zenitz, a guy to kind of keep tabs on. Left tackle. And then you have Ethan Fields right here, a player that just committed recently from Ole Miss, right? That guard position. Now, guards can, I don't know, the right guard, left guard. Who's going to be in place for our guard? And then I think another guy people are sleeping on right here is Casey Poe. Do we have any Casey Poe fans in here? I am. I'm one of them. I'm a Casey Poe fan. I like his game. I've always thought he was going to be good. How is the guy now just entering the portal? Yeah, good question. Okay, so great question, Capstone. So you're talking about Javen James. Great question. Okay, so that's the 48-hour rule. And you're like, what the hell is that? Yeah, it's a different type of card. So players who entered the transfer portal close to the transfer portal date, it's 48 hours to process. So you're like, okay, Saturday, Sunday. No. It goes through business days. And guess what? Monday didn't count because of Martin Luther King Day. So there's going to be more names that can still go out that were entered in like the final moments of the transfer portal. Crazy, right? Exactly. Filed paperwork. The deadline Friday went in, wasn't processed until like Tuesday by the time it gets out Wednesday. Because I think he entered officially on Tuesday. The transfer portal, right? You're like, what? Yeah. Did anybody else hype up Casey Poe, or is it just me? Casey Poe, I like Casey Poe. This dude's tough. Okay. Now, okay, and we'll do some defensive competition tomorrow, some position battles. All right, so I'm going to ask you a couple questions regarding the first part of Alabama's schedule, okay? So what I need from you is feedback inside the comment box, okay? So type F for Florida State or type S for South Carolina. Which will be a tougher game for Alabama this coming season? Keep in mind that each of these games is at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Keep in mind, South Carolina returns its quarterback, Lenore Sellers. Keep in mind that Florida State has a new quarterback, Ashton Daniels. Florida State is right before 9-19. And then you have the late September matchup with South Carolina. Everybody's saying South Carolina, right? Okay. Hey, Jay Boogie, thanks for becoming a fan funder. That's what's up, dog. Appreciate you. South Carolina, man, you know what? This team they should have had a much better schedule. That was a good team. And I would imagine like Shane Beamer kind of looking at this season is like, man, we could have done this. We could have beat these guys. We could have right. They were beating Alabama. They were beating Texas A&M. Those are two playoff teams. They had some, back end collapses. Alabama thankfully was able to come back and beat them. Byron mentions that Florida State bought a whole new team. It seems like they're always getting a whole new team, right? I know everybody kind of is, but like Florida State has an all new team. Same coach, though. Same coach. Mike Norvell. They thought that they were going to get rid of Mike Norvell, right? They didn't. All right, so everybody thinks that South Carolina will be the tougher game. And there's this is the huge revenge game. People are not happy still about that game. Am I right? All right. Lag Game, what's up, man? He says we need to treat everyone like they're the best team in the country. Yes, 100%. Thanks for the super, Lag Game. I appreciate you. And thanks, Jay Boogie. Thanks for becoming a fan funder. Where are you at? Oh, there you go, right there. Thank you. Man, this coffee's hot. Yeah, Dylan Stewart returns as well on the defensive side. Justin Okoronkwo's over there. Kelby Collins over there, right? I thought Kelby Collins was a good kind of depth piece. I don't know if he's like a impact starter. Okay, next question. Also kind of an early season matchup. Type K for Kentucky. Type M for Mississippi State. Kentucky's the second game of the season on the 12th, and then about a month later, right, you take on Mississippi State. Both of these games are also on the road, so going to Lexington and then going to Stark Vegas. What'll be a more challenging game, do you think? I don't know. Let's see. This is kind of a tough one. Kentucky? You know, playing Mississippi State's tough. I think I might vote Mississippi State, although I'm not completely sure. I don't know. I think this is a kind of interesting play. We've talked about this before, right? It's like it is weird playing Kentucky so early, especially on the road. I don't know. And I'm sorry, I have not been following Kendrick Law. Is he coming back, or did he like declare for the NFL or something like that for Kentucky? I know he caught, some passes last year. Who else went to Kentucky this for the transfer portal? I think it was either Ionita or Allanin, one of them. What's up, who dat? Yeah, Kentucky mentions that Oregon, the OC, right? Yeah. I don't know. The Mississippi State game might be tough. And the reason, like, when you look at Alabama's schedule, that October slate that Alabama has is just, it's hard. It's really, really tough. Yeah. Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, it was Olas. Okay. I knew it was one of the two. Okay, now, I guess we got caught into, like, just side-by-side today. That's what we're rolling with. Comment, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Okay, more to blame this season for the run game. Or you could just tie it into the offense. Type R for Grub. No, type G for Grub. Type and do the emoji cap for Coach Kapilovic. Who do you think's more to blame? Oh, man, this is like these two men, man, right on the chopping block, right? I'm curious to see what people say. You know what? We're gonna have to poll. Let's do a poll. I think I'm gonna do offense. Okay, let's do a poll for this one. More to blame. Oh, it looks like it's gonna be Coach Cap. I don't know. This is gonna be an interesting poll. I'm just going to type Grub, and then I'm going to put a cap let's see if I can do a cap. Okay. I just said more to blame. And I put Grub with the G, and I put cap with the cap. Let's see what the result. Okay, so far, the results are tabulating, and Grub has taken the lead right now. The first 10 votes are in. The second 10 votes are in, and it's getting closer. 54 to 46% say Grub still. I knew this one would be close. This is why I saved it for the end. Now it's 50-50 after 28 votes. Please vote inside the comment box. Let's see what you got. 32 votes right now. Grub has taken a slight lead. Ryan Harris wants Gillespie on the board. Now Cab is taking a 51%. Now it's Grub. Oh, my God, we're almost to 50 votes. Now it's back to 50-50. Are you watching this poll? This is the most exciting poll we've had in a long time. Wow, we need some poll music. 51% now Grub. Wow. Interesting. What a poll. You need some cooking with Kyle? Let's see. Oh my God. You know what, fam? You should have seen the fish. I didn't do I should have done a video yesterday. Oh my God. I'm going to take your calls here in just a minute. I got a couple more things to go through. I made some fish yesterday. Does anybody make fish besides me? I'm sure you all do, especially those out in LA, right? Oh man, I have one picture of it. It was extraordinary. And what I did was it was frozen fish. I thawed it, which you don't have to do, but I thawed it, and all I did was put some kind of Cajun seasoning on it, and I put it in the air fryer 360 for like 10 minutes. And then on the side, I caramelized some onions with a little bit of bacon. And then I put it on a bed of rice, and I made some broccoli, and then I made some oven roasted golden potatoes. It was like extraordinary. All right. Okay. And then before I take your calls, I need to ask you guys, okay? Type M for mountains or B for beach. Better place to spend time. Always the best one, right? What you guys got? Mountains or beach? God, this is always so hard for me. I love the mountains. I do. You know, my dad lives in the mountains. I grew up not far from the mountains. You're like, what? You grew up in New Mexico. It's only desert. That means you haven't been to New Mexico. The mountains where I grew up in Santa Fe, my mom's house is 7,200 feet, okay? The mountain range is the Sangre de Cristos. Those mountains are, like in Taos, we have Wheeler Peak, which is 13,000 feet. Yes, 13,000 feet. So I grew up in the mountains, trout fishing, right? Hiking, going outside, just that sort of like, there's nothing that hits harder than like that sort of fresh air, right? Am I right? The beach though, shoot, man. The beach hits, right? What's the nicest beach y'all been to? Has anybody, okay, one of the nicest beaches I've been to. I'm going to take your calls in just a second. Yeah, Jemez Mountains. Yeah, Jemez Mountains are beautiful. Yeah, for sure. There's been some really bad fires out there as well. What's the nicest beach y'all been to? Like the nicest beach? One of the nicest beaches that I went to was actually in Puerto Rico. So flew into, this is like more than a decade ago. And I flew into San Juan. And from San Juan, took a small plane. I'm telling you, this plane was tiny. This was like one of those planes that they have like duct tape. It was like a small Cessna. And we took a plane from San Juan to Culebra. Yeah, anybody ever done this? It's more common to take a ferry. I like adventure. I wanted to take an airplane. So we flew to Culebra, right? And we made it to Flamingo Beach. Yo, Flamingo Beach was like insane, all right? So that was certainly one of the nicest beaches I've been to. Oh, someone's saying Santorini. I've never been out to Greece, but I have been out to the Amalfi Coast in Italy. Long, long time ago. I mean, too long. And I think that was probably one of the more, it stood out to me so much going to Italy, like going to Amalfi, and there's two different ways to get there, right? You can take like the bus ride there, or you could take the boat. Take the boat. We did the boat leaving. We took a bus going there. It was terrible because of how sick you get. But Amalfi, when you kind of just stand and you just look at like the mountains, you're like, how the hell are people like living in these mountains, right? Yo, Broderick, you went to Flamingo Beach. That's what's up, man. Yeah. Isn't that beach beautiful? 100%. All right. Okay. We'll take some calls. All right. So it's pretty much like an open show. Whatever's on your mind, come with it. As you know, video is powered by sponsor is Sleeper, right? The promo code is Tailgate. You download the app, you get $20. Perfect for the upcoming NFL playoffs, right? Tailgate is the promo code. $100 in, you get $100 stacked on top of it. Terms and conditions apply. Available in 25 states. Okay? So thank you for supporting them, and thank you for supporting me. Like, super chats certainly go a long way, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I've never been to Hawaii. I've never been to Hawaii. I've gone a lot of different places in this great life, but I've never been to Hawaii, not yet. And I hear it's just so amazing, right? Okay. Let me fire up the call and show, and then I'll take you guys' calls. I appreciate you guys being here as well. If you're kind of late to the show, the ticker up top is basketball, and it's really significant news because Charles Bediako has been granted a restrict. I know you're like college craziness on the home front. So this is one of the major storylines right now. Is Bediako has been granted a restraining order against the NCAA, and he's going to be able to play for the Tide this Saturday against Tennessee. And he's been in the G League. So, oh my God, what a wild time in college athletics. It's just really unbelievable. So setting up the call line now, and you guys call in and we'll chit chat. And remember, same rules apply. If you called in yesterday, you're off today. This is your rest day. Make time for other people to call in. When you call in the show, I'll say, hey, what's up? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who I'm on line with, and then we'll continue. And then just keep in mind, there's people behind you that certainly want to call. So I appreciate you guys respecting the rules of the show and keeping it moving, and for supporting us right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I think we got a super chat that came in. Veteran. Okay, so the thing is, if you follow Alabama basketball, and you're probably going to get more of it from me on Wake Up Bama, like kind of moving forward, I'll slowly kind of integrate it in as we get closer to the month of February, right, and then into March Madness. But I've been like, look, Alabama basketball needs, and Sherelle has been playing fantastic. In my opinion, Noah Williamson has had some good games, but he doesn't fit the style that Alabama basketball plays. They're too fast for him. He seems, in my opinion, he seems a little bit unathletic. Now you get Bediako. This guy with Sherelle and the guards that they have, you know what? They become an instant contender. Yes, they go from kind of like a Sweet 16 where I have them now to like a Final Four team. I'm dead serious, because the teams that they lost to in Arizona or Purdue, those teams could work them because they had more athletic big men, better big men. Now you have these two guys. I'm talking Sherelle and Bediako. Now, listen, the case is going to go to a hearing on the 27th of January, and maybe they just cancel it out and he can't play anymore at all. But he's going to play this Saturday against Tennessee, which is crazy. All right, look, we got Cody, I think, from Crestview. Cody, is it you?
How have you been?
Cody, what's up, bro? My faithful caller, man. Thanks for calling in, bro. Welcome to the show.
All right. Listen, I have that left tackle that we just got on.
Yeah.
I really do like that report coming in, because it brings depth to the O-line. To be honest, that survey, little survey with both Grubb and Cap, I think it's both. It just doesn't pair right with me.
Mm-hmm.
But with both the, when the competitions happen, when you're with Keon and Austin Mack and everything, I think people don't know. We also have not just, offense and defense. I think we also even have special teams competition as well. Just because, with Talty and Quinn, Asperov and the other punter, and there's something going on in every room, but just I'm glad about Alabama basketball. But the only thing is, what's with all the suing going on? I want to know that question, Kyle.
I think, I think, Cody, like where we're at right now is it's lawless and it's wild. And I think with the whole Charles Bediako situation, either someone on Alabama's staff or Bediako or both, they saw this exact same situation happening. I think there's a situation at Louisville and somewhere else. So the staff was like, yo, why don't we go after Bediako? He's never played in the NBA. Can't they do the same thing? And they maybe reached out to Bediako's agent. They're like, yo, let's do it. So now he comes back over here. If he finishes out without, because he can only play the remainder of this season. So which is still, we're like at the halfway point, right? So he could play the rest of the season and then go back into the NBA. Why not go? This is going to open the doors for so many different situations with this whole Bediako thing. What else you got, Cody?
Oh, well, Max Tooney says in the comment section that I'm smuggling tight ends. You know, tight ends ain't my specialty, Max. I'm more of the like O-line, D-line type guys. I like to smuggle defensive tackles, man. Because really, to be honest, I mean, like for Alabama, I think we need to just go to the drawing board and just develop, but the whole year. I think, but we can't lose. We can't lose to FSU for 2026. That's a highly improbable no. And if we do, guess what? This won't look good on Alabama for sure, Kyle. If I ever do meet you in person, I do have some Javalia coffee from Sweden for you.
Okay. All right.
So,
yeah. That would be interesting. Yeah. I'm down to try it, man. Well, I appreciate it, Cody. Thanks for calling in, brother. We'll catch up with you next show, dude.
No problem.
Okay, see you, man. All right, Cody. Cody from Crestview. He said he's not a tight end guy. Okay, he's more of offensive line. He's more of like a trench guy, right? Everybody has kind of their specialty, to be honest. That's why I always say, like, offensive linemen, get in here. What are you seeing? Right? 334, we got you coming up next. And then we got, it looks like JD from Pritchett.
What up, Kyle? It's Trayvon.
What's up?
Kentucky.
Trayvon, what's up, dog? How you doing, man?
Not much. I'm doing all right. How about you, Gonzalo?
Good to see you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for coming in with it, bro. Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, ask, how many more players do you think we'll get out of the portal this season?
Yeah,
all season.
Yeah, good question, Trayvon. I think you're going to get quite a few, and I don't know if you guys are just joining the show or not, but Alabama is going to host Javen James out of Mississippi State. He's an offensive tackle, played left tackle all of last year for Mississippi State and played right tackle the year before. So he's 6'5", 320 pounds, super experienced. So I think Trayvon, they'll bring in as many guys that fit, that can get in, because there's no timetable for this to end. And I think Alabama's far away from that 105 scholarship mark. So I mean, right now, where we at, like 17 or 18 guys? I don't think we go over 25 guys, but it might get close to it for sure. Good question, though. I'm wondering the same thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking like 20, 25. That's around a good mark.
Yeah.
No, I haven't heard this. Javon, what was his name?
So, I'm going to type it inside the comment box for everybody to go look at. But it's Javen James, 6'5", left tackle out of Mississippi State. And he started last year. He played in, I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was 850 snaps last year at left tackle. And that's kind of one of the things that we don't have right now. Like, we got tackles for sure now, right? Jackson Lloyd, Haywood, Brooks, but they're all inexperienced. The only experienced tackle that we really have is Michael Carroll. If you're able to go out there and get Javen James, he's experienced. So is Racing Delgatti. So is Michael Carroll. Are those guys going to start? I mean, clearly Delgatti and Carroll are, but it creates a lot of competition, and you bring in experience on the other side. So anything else, Trayvon?
I just love the addition of experience on the line, and I'm hoping for another addition at running back with some SEC experience.
Yeah.
That's why I liked Clark.
Yeah, and I think that's another position to watch. I don't really have any other names. I know people were asking kind of late in the game, Christian Clark. I don't know if you guys saw, but he committed to South Carolina. And then the Frazier young man, he committed to Ole Miss. He was from Michigan State. Did Alabama whiff on some of those guys? I don't know about all that. But at one point it seemed like Alabama wanted a running back to come in, like a veteran running back to come in. what do you guys think inside the comment box? Do you guys think that Alabama still needs a veteran running back to come in? It's something that I don't know if I've decided or not. Like, as a fan's perspective, you got D Hill all the way through Trayshawn Brown, who just signed, but I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. Anything else, Trayvon?
No, that's all I had for you today.
All right. Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Thanks for letting me in.
No doubt, man. Thanks for the call. All right, Trayvon out from Kentucky. Looks like we got JD from Pritchett, Alabama.
What's going on with you, Kyle?
What's up, JD? I appreciate you coming with it, man. Thanks for joining the show, man. Come with it.
Yeah, I kind of caught the show a little late today, so the little part I did here, I guess I'll touch on it. I heard you talking about coaching, and my thing is when it comes to this coaching thing, I don't see no major coaching changes will come this year, but maybe, if things don't work out this year, then maybe next year, when the seat is really hot under the board, that's when the coaching changes start happening. But I was thinking about this, and I want to get your take on it. I know it's kind of, far stretched, far left field, but think about this. What if this happens? If the board doesn't work out in the next two years, how would you feel about A.J. McCarron?
You know what? So
coming in.
Yeah. So here's my take on A.J. I feel, and I think I said this maybe a couple days ago. I feel like A.J. is at the point in his life where he was thinking about going the political route. He's kind of dipped into the podcast space. He's now in the coaching realm. The one thing that I know about AJ is clearly he was a player here. People love him, right? And they love and I think AJ seems like a man that stands on his own business. And I think I've never met him, but would you say, JD, that AJ has a backbone? It seems like he does.
Oh, yeah.
Right? 100%. Like everybody remembers kind of when he was calling out his center. It seems like he's a man that stands on his business. The thing that he doesn't have is a lot of experience. This is going to be an interesting experience to see, and I don't care what he does with the Stallions. The Stallions win regardless. Like, they just win, right? So, but that's going to be interesting to see how he can command a unit and to see where it goes from there. And I don't, I have no idea if he goes into college coaching or whatever, but I think this is going to be an interesting experiment. Now, regarding Coach Kalen DeBoer and kind of like a timeline and stuff, I honestly think that Coach Kalen DeBoer I don't think his seat is warm. I think just like everybody else is saying, the coaching underneath him is warm. And if those needs aren't addressed, it gets hotter, and then it starts to burn up on Coach Kalen DeBoer because he didn't make changes. This is a pivotal year for the offense. The defense, they improved. There was a couple areas that
I said that on the last time I called in. The defense improved throughout the season.
So now,
it's not really a roadmap.
Exactly. So now, what if you got to think? You have to think. Him and Grubb sat down and were like, "Listen, bro, we both know that wasn't it. Come on, they went out. I don't know if they went out on the boat or the helicopter, whatever they did. They're like, that wasn't it.
Right.
Okay, man to man, that wasn't it. We got to run the ball. How can we do that? So if that improves, you're good. But you know what?
Right.
For the most part, and we have a really big following here and on our Facebook channel. The overall approval rating for DeBoer is still high. It's like in that 7 to 8 range. It really is. But the nature of the loss is what pisses people off. Getting your tail kicked.
There you go.
Losing to Florida State, right? Like that. We lost games before. You can't lose games like that. And why did you lose it? Because you were one-dimensional, right? So, anyways, anything else, JD?
No, that's all. I just wanted to get your take and see what you would have thought about. Like, I don't think it'll happen, but it would be wild if AJ was to be successful at the Stallions and even replace Grubb as an OC. And then, you never know, but that's just one thing that ran across my mind. And I said, whenever next time I talk to you, I was going to get your take on it, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep bringing us all the information. And as always, bud, roll tide.
Yeah, take it easy, man. Yeah, absolutely, bro. Roll tide too, man. Thanks for calling out from Pritchard. All right, 901. Let's take it. I think we got Jarvis. Jarvis, what's up, bro? Thanks for calling in, man. Welcome to the show.
What's going on, Kyle? How's it going, Kyle?
Man, just rolling with it, man. You know, it's the Bediako news blew my mind. Like, you talk about like the war hitting the home front. This is the war hitting the home front. I mean, Alabama's about to get a 7-foot, 225-pound center from the G League. Like, yo, by the way, let's go ahead and add Josh Jacobs. Let's add Damian Harris. Let's start dipping in. You know what I'm saying? Let's go for it all. Who cares?
Let's have a super team.
Shoot, man. What's up, dude? Welcome.
I was just calling in to kind of just put my 2 cents on things. I have been looking at the portal the players that we have been getting in. I think that when it comes to the defensive line, what's it? Is the name Terrence from
Terrence.
Oregon?
Yep, Terrence Green. Yep.
Yeah. I watched some the highlight, the guy from Oregon and the one from USC. I noticed that to me, I noticed their position as far as D linemen, and one of them may play a bandit or edge or a D tackle. That's what they can probably have Terrence at. I didn't see enough from Terrence. He has a lot of athleticism. I will say that. But when it comes to that hog up front in the middle, I didn't see it on the tape. And so I noticed that what we've been talking about here lately is about the coaches' development.
Yeah.
Can they develop their players? You know, I wanted some more veteran D linemen that had more experience on the D line, but hopefully the staff can get those guys going on the defensive line. The secondary, I'm not too much worried about. I think we solid on the secondary. Linebackers, I would love for us to get another linebacker. I did take a look at the kids from Virginia Tech.
Yep.
Is he from Virginia Tech?
Yeah, Caleb Woodson. Yeah.
Took a look at his highlights. When I say sideline to sideline, linebacker, great. Coming downhill, great tackler. But I needed that headhunter like Reuben Foster, like that Milsa just shooting out of the, just coming downhill in the A and B gap and just knock your head off. That's what kind of linebacker I want. I want that linebacker in them trenches. As far as the sideline to sideline, he's great. But when it coming down here in them trenches, I didn't see enough aggression, like coming down with anger, like I'm ready to knock somebody's head off. I didn't see that in him. But things can change, okay? So he had a lot of snaps, so hopefully they can develop him on that level of being able to come down and tackle in those trenches. But I'm looking for those type of players. I'm looking for those headhunters that's coming out to knock somebody's head off. So those are the type of linebackers and D tackles I want to see. And then as far as on the offensive line, hopefully we can get some more veteran presence on that offensive line. Like you said, we just the guy from Mississippi State that we have him coming in. Mm-hmm. So he has a lot of snaps. So that's good because both our quarterbacks, are they right-handed? Both of them right-handed, correct?
Yep.
Is they right-handed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that left side, that blind side, and the Mississippi State tackle, he's on the left, left tackle, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Or right tackle?
No, he's a left tackle. He played right tackle the year before. This past year, he played left tackle.
That's the most important position to me right now.
Yeah.
Because both our quarterbacks are right-hand passers. We need a good left tackle. I'm talking about a veteran left tackle. So hopefully he pans out. Hopefully he get a chance to start, and we can fill that left tackle position. And then as far as the other position on the O-line, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. You host him. Maybe you get him in. I just think that that left tackle position, we're going to have a lot of good competition there. So I'm all for it, man. I love the competition factor. So thanks for calling in, man. I appreciate it, man. Keep doing your thing, man. And good to see it, man.
All right. Thanks, Cal. Appreciate it.
Take it easy, dog. All right, man. Okay, we got 256 and a 973. I think that's Chris in New Jersey. Coming up next, Alabama has just released an official statement, and it says this. It says this is regarding Charles Bediako. I'm telling you, this is like national news. Okay, UA says this. The university supports Charles and his ongoing efforts to be reinstated for competition, while he works to complete his degree. So, clearly Alabama's backing him. He wants to get a degree, so we'll see what happens. This is going to be one hell of a thing to follow because, so just the heads up, Bediako cleared to play. He'll play Saturday against Tennessee. 7 foot, 225. Bama needs a big man badly, along with Sherelle. They'll complement each other perfectly. And then the hearing is set for the 27th, and we just kind of find what's going to happen from then on. If he's granted eligibility, he can finish out the rest of the season. With his play, I would suggest that Bama goes from a Sweet 16 type team to maybe like a title contending team. That's what they've needed all along. It'd be like wishing on a star, and then all of a sudden the star is like, what do you want? You're like, that. Okay, 256. Oh, man. What's up? Who on the line with him? Where are you calling in from?
This is Jay Boogie, man, calling out of Hillsboro. How you doing, Kyle?
What's up, Jay Boogie? Thanks for calling in. Welcome to the show, bro.
Yeah, man, I'm up here trying to prepare for this winter apocalypse they say we got coming.
Yeah. Sorry, where'd you say you were at?
Hillsboro. I'm right across the river from Huntsville and Madison.
Okay, yeah. So what does the forecast say for you guys? Because up in kind of Tennessee, it says anywhere from 16 to 24. What are you guys getting out there?
Yeah, we're right on the line. It's either going to be all ice and sleet or a foot of snow.
Yeah.
So we're trying to kind of prepare for both and hope for the best, I guess.
All right, man. Welcome on. Yeah, welcome on in, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say when it came to the whole issue of the running game, I mean, I would say it was on Cap because we did run running plays, and maybe he could only call what he saw had success in practice.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I'm thinking because we did try to run the ball sometimes, and I just think that it's an issue of getting the fat trimmed and getting his guys in, like you were speaking on the other day. I think once we get what they think works for the system, I think maybe hopefully that takes a turn. And because Formby and Allen and some of them boys, they were big, but they wasn't very athletic, I guess you would say, as far as being able to pull and stuff like that. And that's just where I think I sit on that. But I am excited about the defense, though. We made such a great turn this year as far as being able to pressure. But I'm like you, I want to see more of that pressure. We had a lot of great success with that. And I just hope they keep pushing and pushing.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's the one thing that I can really say with confidence is that Alabama certainly took a step forward in its defense, but just the one thing is you want to see what Miami was able to do, right? And that's get more pressure. So can they be able to do that? Yeah, I would imagine that's kind of on their check mark for this coming year. Do we have the guys to do that? I hope so. I mean, you heard Jarvis talking about some of the guys that they have coming back. We'll just have to see. What else you got, Jay Boogie?
The Abdul Sanders. I love this kid. I mean, you watch his tape. I kind of figured, with us having Jefferson and Lawson, maybe it was the issue of just not getting into the rotation. But I really hope in this off season we get to see a couple of those younger guys come up and really battle for some positions, because I would really like to see them get some time in some games this year. And but I'd like to see us get another linebacker, but the depth at wide receiver is starting to become somewhat of a concern to me.
Yeah.
If we get a couple of guys hurt right now, we're in sad shape, really.
I think that if you're able to get, because right now what we got, 8 wide receivers, you probably need to get 10. That's probably, you know what? That's probably going to be another area, Jay Boogie, that you get some additions. And you don't need, like, I never thought it, like, if they get this Nico Brown guy, I don't think they're going to out of Yale. You don't necessarily need guys like that. You need complementary pieces, guys that they've been adding recently, like a MJ Cherwick. You need a Maurice, Mathis guy. You need some more pieces like that. Maybe a couple taller guys or whatever to kind of fill out the variety of the wide receiver position, because you already got your starters. Let's face it, right? Like, those guys are going to compete, from the Rico Scotts to Rogers, Ryan, all those guys. So you just need some complementary pieces. Anything else, Jay Boogie, while you're here?
Just on the whole Bediako thing, I think it's awesome because we really needed that big guy. And like you said, Williamson just don't fit the speed of the game that Alabama wants to play. But I just hope it don't start a nightmare scenario that on the 27th he gets nerfed, and then there we are. Back in the same position. I don't want that to happen, but it would be awesome to see him on the court again for Bama.
For sure, yeah. Hell yeah, it would be. That's crazy. So, all right, man. Thanks for calling in, Jay Boogie. I appreciate it, man. Stay warm out there.
Hey, y'all too, man.
All right, man. Take it easy. All right, Chris from New Jersey. Chris, what's up, bro? Welcome to the show.
Kyle, happy hump day, my friend.
Yeah, man. Feels good. Wednesday's a good day.
Well, I should say this is your positive friend, Chris from New Jersey, calling. So first of all, that couple callers ago, I love this call, but I want 12 Reuben Fosters, Kyle. And there's not a Reuben Foster in the rest of the country. So of course I want Reuben Foster. So. But keeping this thing positive, let's say this. You know who we need right now? Nobody. We have a perfect situation right now. We killed it in the portal.
Yeah.
We're going to win the national. I'll get to this week, 1 year from now. But these guys, did everybody forget? Does everybody forget? That these guys took 2 stars to the national championship just a couple seasons ago. Just a couple seasons ago. So, they know how to develop. This guy's a great coach. We have all the pieces. And so I'm calling on a positive note. This time next year, we're going to be calling you every day. We're going to be walking on clouds because we have just won the national championship. All right. So that's why I'm calling my positive rant, Kyle. So that's why it's going to be a fun year, and we have a lot to talk about. But everything is great. Everybody should be doing a little jig. So all right, thank you for what you do, brother.
Yeah.
Everybody stay warm. It's 8 degrees here, Kyle.
Oh shoot! Holy
no
cow!
Good. Yeah.
Dang, 8.
And we're gonna get a blizzard and the polar vortex. This is
polar vortex. Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's the perfect storm. Isn't that what happened when Mark Wahlberg and the crew went to that ship? It was like, remember that? And they went up to the Cape.
Oh, yeah.
What a good movie, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then, that's a true story, by the way.
Yeah. Perfect Storm, right? Is that what it's called? Yeah, Perfect Storm.
They didn't find a life preserver, nothing. They just vanished.
Yeah, up in like Gloucester's Bay. Yeah, man, what a good movie.
Yeah. They vanished just like Bama hater. I noticed he's not in the chat. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Kyle. Let's not go. We weren't there. At least he made it. At least.
All right, good call.
All right,
Chris.
brother.
Yeah.
All right, listen. Have a great week. My best to you. My best to you in the theater. Roll Tide.
All right, man. Take it easy. All right, Chris from New Jersey. Yeah. Perfect Storm is legit. I'll watch that movie right now. That's a good movie. You know what else? Somebody said this movie Inside the Comment Box. You say The Day After Tomorrow. That was a great movie. Who said that? I want to highlight them. I really liked that movie. Yeah, remember this? That was with was that John Cusack? Right? Yeah, Day After Tomorrow was crazy. Basically the polar vortex they shifted. That was crazy. What a good movie. And then there was another one that was kind of similar to it too. I love those type of movies, by the way, like the end of the world type movies. I love them. I can't get enough of them. I think they're the best. Like Armageddon. That was crazy. Deep Impact, right? All right, fam. Well, looks like that's our show today. I appreciate you guys hanging out right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining the program. Of course, news as it happens. And as I said, keep your heads on a swivel as it looks like, another visitor is in the tank. So, like, kind of the two big items that we're watching is Javen Quinn, right? And then he's the 6'5", 320 left tackle. And then we also have this whole Bediako situation to follow. Oh, Dennis Quaid. Okay. Twister. Yeah, Twister's a good one too. Yeah, those are. I love Twister. I saw Twister too. It was okay. It's kind of like, like Independence Day, right? Like Independence Day is a great movie. But like anytime it's rare. Okay, how about this? It's rare that there's like a good second movie. The only few that I can think about is like Top Gun. Like I like Top Gun, and then I like the second Top Gun. You know what I'm saying? Independence Day, love the first one, not so much the second one. Like 28 Days Later, great one. Second one, not so much. It's hard to add on, period. Right? World War Z, great movie. Yeah, 100%. All right, fam. Well, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching today's broadcast. See you guys as news happens. And then, of course, the Wake Up Bama, podcast at 4 in the morning. Terminator, you're 100% right. And that's one where Terminator 2, the second one, I feel was better than the first one, which is also rare, which is I think, more rare. You can't have a second one be better than the first. That happened, right? All right, fam. Take it easy. Enjoy your beautiful life. I'll catch up with you soon right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Someone just said Sharknado. I know exactly what that is. Sharknado is this made-up thing to where these sharks are getting sucked up in these tornadoes and it's just flying around with these great whites. All right, fam. Love you guys. See you next show right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. I appreciate it.